Hello and welcome back to the National Basketball Performance Centre, home to Manchester Basketball, who are hosting second place Sheffield Hatters. Manchester go into this game third in the league after a strong season, and with this being their first home game since December, I caught up with Rhianne Bailey to see how she's settling into her new role as head coach. So firstly, how have you found stepping into the role of head coach?
It's been a change, a good one, a positive one. Obviously, I learned a lot from Pregame. It was great working with him, and he put a great team together. So we had a really good start, and it's been nice just kind of trying to extend on that. We have a great group of girls who have been welcoming, who have been supportive, and the wider basketball community have been really supportive as well. So learning lots, but really excited for the continuing challenge.
And you've played alongside the likes of George Anderson and Lauren Thomas-Johnson. You've won cups with them before as well. What's it like to now be coaching them?
Do you know what? It's great. I think people would think that it could be quite difficult or challenging, but they're really mature players. They're veterans. They've been coached by many coaches. And we have known all the time when we play basketball that once we step over the lines, we are there to do our role. The same as players, we would argue, we would fight, but then as soon as we stepped off the court, we're back to being friends. We don't kind of let that get between us. And it's the same with coaching. They're there to do their job and I'm there to do mine.
And Dom Allen as well, what's it like working with her?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, it's great because coaching, it's kind of a lonely role. And actually she's great at her job. She's great at being the general manager of this club and keeping us all in line, but also being so supportive as well. So it's nice to have a friend in that capacity. But again, we're there to do our job, so she just tells me off now and again.
What would you say about the progress of women's basketball from when you were playing to now?
I think the SLB, it's an exciting time. It's an exciting league. There's definitely more opportunity for young athletes to aspire to play at this level and beyond. Many more athletes going to the likes of the States, getting professional contracts and good professional contracts, not just ending up in kind of like the back ends of nowhere with little money. Actually, there are players, paving the way. And then, it's nice to see like the GB team is playing out of Manchester and things like that. That's just like inspiring. So yeah, I did definitely think there's a lot more opportunity. There's a lot more growth in the sport, and there's a long way to go. Don't get me wrong, but yeah.
And obviously, it's very new, the SLB. But how would you say it's going, and like where it's headed? Do you think it's looking promising?
I think the SLB have made really good strides in like marketing and networking for future seasons. I think for the women, it's exciting again to be a part of the joint finals and the joint competitions. But yeah, I think we're growing in the right direction, and hopefully that can continue.
And how does it feel to be one of the first black women to coach a women's basketball team?
It's interesting. It's obviously like it's an achievement, and I'm glad to be kind of a little bit of a figurehead in that regard. But also, it kind of makes me question, why isn't there more? What can we be doing to make sure that we're inspiring and we're empowering and pushing more black females into coaching and into officiating and into other areas, even in like Dom's capacity. She's probably one of the first black females in her role as well. So how can we continue to push other ethnic minorities and women to take up those roles in a male-dominated sport?
And another personal achievement for you, you've been named in the coaching staff for the under-20s for this summer's Eurobasket. What was your reaction when you found that out?
I was pleasantly surprised, to be honest. Again, it's one of those things that I've gone back and forth about each year, probably for the past 5 or 6 years. Crew played a big part in that. He encouraged me, pushed me, he was asking me every single day, have you applied? So, grateful for him for like having the confidence in me and pushing me towards that. But yeah, I'm excited to learn from other coaches. I'm excited to meet the under-20s talent and hopefully leave a lasting impression on those as well.
And for Manchester Basketball, how would you sum up how the season's gone so far, and what are your remaining hopes and goals for the rest of the season?
I think the only way to sum it up is a roller coaster. We've had highs, we've had lows, and I'm hoping that we end with a big finish.
And soon you'll be playing at home again. You've had quite a long run of away games. Are you looking forward to playing at home?
I am. Sometimes it's really difficult when you have a long stint on the road because, you know, you start to build up a bit of a fan base and then they don't get to see you play or they have to watch in live stream. So I'm hoping that, you know, when we're back at home, everybody comes out, supports, and we get that Manchester welcome that we love.
Great. Well, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Perfect.
Joined courtside now by one of these pre-game discussions because of the long run of away Manchester have had. So talk me through how they've been playing over the past couple of months.
Yeah, it has been a long time. Before Christmas, I think, was their last home game. So 4-game winning streak for Manchester basketball at the moment. Had a big win against Cardiff last weekend and facing a tough test today in the Sheffield Hatters, but they really look like they've found their rhythm, sitting in 3rd place in the league, and 4 big wins is going to give them a lot of confidence.
And the players are playing really well. Davida Dale back in December, a long time ago now, but she got a quadruple-double, record-breaking quadruple-double. Last week, both her and Danny Williams got triple-doubles, which is the first time 2 players from the same team have done that in a game. Just how good are they both, but also how good is it to have players that can match each other's quality in the same team?
Yeah, they've both been absolutely incredible so far this season. Danny Williams, 2nd in the league in points per game scored and 2nd in rebounds. She leads the league in 3-pointers made by a mile. She's been absolutely fantastic. She's a shooter, and we know how important that is. But Davida as well, we've seen her. She does a bit of everything on the court. Her defense is absolutely exceptional. And having those 2 players as well, like you say, being able to match each other and it just kind of brings the rest of the team up and it really sets the tone.
And another great player is Danny Williams' former teammate, Camille Oates, who joined Manchester Basketball in February. What's she going to add to this team?
Shooting. She is going to add shooting to this team, and we know that Manchester are a team that like to score, like to play fast, and shoot from behind the arc. But Cammie's had a lot of experience playing in France, playing for Champagne Basket, and as we've seen before, when players have been teammates, they've got that familiarity. It's really helpful for them when they come into a team like partway through the season, especially at this point in the season. I think Cammie's certainly going to be someone to watch out for as she's playing in her 3rd game now, so we'll see how she's settling in.
And Sheffield Hatters, they're obviously having a great season. What are they doing so well that's keeping them up there at the top of the table that might be an issue for Manchester today?
They're scoring, and they're scoring a lot. Lead the league in points per game with 91.4. Manchester is 2nd, just behind them. But Sheffield are a very high-scoring team. They can shoot from outside, but they have a lot of threats inside. They can just score from anywhere, which is really beneficial for them. And then in Emma Gandini, you've got an absolutely fantastic defender who sets the tone defensively. So really, they're just doing everything really well, and they're a very tough team to come up against because they don't make a lot of mistakes, so you've got to try and take advantage of the few that they do.
And we spoke a bit about Danny Williams earlier, and tip-off is just around the corner, but before I hand over to you on commentary, we caught up with Danny Williams earlier in the week ahead of this game. So last week, you and Davida Dale both got triple-doubles, which is the first time 2 players from the same team have done that in the same game. How is that as a personal achievement, but also playing with someone who matches your quality?
That's my first time, so it's a nice achievement, you know. It's triple doubles. It's not necessarily individual. It may count as an individual stat, you know, but you need a teammate to pass you the ball to score. You need your teammate to score to get the assist. So it's a nice honor, and you know, Davida's been doing it, so it's really neat to share the court.
And you had the most 3 points in last week's game as well. You've got the most 3 points out of anyone in the league by quite a lot. Is that something you particularly focus on? Like, how are you so good at that?
Yeah, shooting the 3-ball, that's always been my favorite thing. That's been my specialty. So I just have a lot of confidence in the work I put in. So when I feel it, it's going to go up.
And this month, Manchester Basketball have signed Camille, who you've played with before. What do you remember from playing with her before, and are you looking forward to sharing the court with her again?
Oh yeah, you think I can shoot, she can really shoot as well. So it's just taking her some time to adjust. But it's fun to have somebody you've played with. You know, you're kind of able to already have that court awareness, and you kind of have that feel for each other playing on the court. So it's cool to have her here as a friendly face, and I'm excited for people to see when she starts really shooting the ball.
And playing against Sheffield Hatters on Saturday, what's your focus going into that game?
We got to match their physicality. The last 2 games, they beat us up. We didn't match their physicality, so we just have to come out, punch first, be aggressive, and bring our energy, and I think we'll be all right.
And you're playing back at the National Basketball Performance Centre after quite a long run of away games. What's the difference playing home versus away for you, and are you looking forward to being back in front of a home crowd?
Yeah, I mean, the home court, you get to practice there almost every single day, and so just the feel for the rims, as a shooter, that's important, so I'm excited to get back there, just have that home feel. You're in a routine at home, you get to sleep in your own bed, everything you do has a routine, so looking forward to it. It's been a long time.
So Hannah, we're about 3 minutes away from tip-off, and it's good to be back here, isn't it? It's been a while.
It's been a long time, Kaz. It's really good to be back.
So Manchester, Verity and I mentioned it in the pre-game, but a big game today. The 3rd-seeded team against the 2nd-seeded team. A lot on the line as we head towards the final stretch of the season. Playoff seeding starting to come into the picture. What are you expecting from today's game?
I think this is going to be a belter. It's a battle for the top, and I think today's going to be really important for both teams to help them secure their place now coming up to the end of the season.
Obviously, so Manchester coming off that big win against the Cardiff Met Archers last weekend. Sheffield played Nottingham, won 80-66. Tyre Singleton with 26 points in that, and Georgia Gale with 19 points, hitting 3 threes. But this is a relatively new look Sheffield team. Only 3 players returning in Maddie Washington, Georgia Gale and Shauna Harrison from last year, but they've still just been consistently good, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, they live up to the Sheffield name, It is a dynasty over there, and I think, Vanessa's very good at working with existing players and then bringing in the right mix of people that can, really help that team succeed. And the great coaching staff as well over there. So I think for them it's promising, and I think they're just going to be great. They're a great team.
And Manchester working their way up the standings. 4-game winning streak at the moment. We've got new signing Cami Io today making a home debut. I know people are very excited to see her out there.
Yeah, exactly. We've not had a chance to kind of really see her pop off at the minute, and I think we've got promises that she's going to be a nice light up shooter. So I'm really excited for today.
I think if Danny Williams says, "You think I'm a good shooter?" Wait till you see Cami. That is a scary prospect.
Yeah, very much so. Yeah.
So we're about a minute and a half away from tip-off. If we look at the starting 5s for both teams, for the Sheffield Hatters, it will be Georgia Gale, Nina Crisper, Shauna Harrison, Tyre Singleton and Emma Gandini. And for Manchester Basketball, Davida Dale, Danny Williams, Hannah Shaw, Cami Io and Lauren Thomas-Johnson. Manchester played in black today and Sheffield in pink. And Lauren Thomas-Johnson, Hannah, is someone that we definitely need to mention. So through the first 9 games of this season, she was averaging 4.6 points, just over 23% shooting from the field. In the last 3 games, she's upped that, tripled her scoring average to just over 16 points, shooting just under 57% from the field. Now, we know Lauren's experience, she's been here, but she's really showing just what she can do, isn't she?
Yeah, I mean, just because a player's not hitting those kind of higher, double-figure shots doesn't obviously mean they're not contributing. She's an incredible player. She's got a wealth of experience behind her, and I think for now she's obviously kind of finding some rhythm in her shooting game, which is allowing her now to kind of really put the ball in the basket. And again, as well, I think it's all about her team helping her to create options for her as well. She might just be now deciding to be a little bit selfish, and that's okay.
Yeah. Definitely. Lauren had a career high in field goal percentage last year in, season number 6 last year for her, and she's just, continues to be a fantastic player out there on court.
I think what's interesting as well today is obviously Lauren having that connection to Sheffield as well.
Yes.
So Vanessa will know how Lauren plays.
Along with Nicolette and
Yeah.
Hannah Shaw.
Yeah.
Nicolette Fairley and Hannah Shaw, players that have also played for Sheffield.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting, isn't it, when that kind of dynamic happens.
Those crossovers.
So teams out on court, it's going to be Shaw and Singleton for the jump ball. So ball's up and we're underway, and it will be first possession goes to Manchester as Dale races all the way to the basket. Doesn't get it to go, and it's into the hands of Georgia Gale for Sheffield. Crisper finds Harrison. Harrison has space there at the top of the key, drains it to start things off, and Shauna Harrison, a really dangerous shooter, as she's just proved there from the mid-range.
Yeah, that was a brilliant shot. You know, she had that wide open space. They got a really nice curve on that drive. Yeah, fantastic.
As Williams comes off a hard screen, Thomas Johnson into Shaw. Ball's out of bounds and it will go back with Sheffield. So a little bit of a couple of messy possessions there for Manchester to start things off.
Yeah, it's a little bit wobbly. I think they just need to tighten up a little bit, settle into it, and then the shots will come.
Gale finds Gandini, hands it back to Gale. Gale with a deep three. It's off and Gandini can't quite save it in. It's going to go out of bounds, but I think you look at Davida Dale there and her positioning there, that had a real impact on knocking that ball out.
Yeah, she really did.
So Manchester looking to get some points on the board. Thomas Johnson hands off to Williams. Williams, 4 seconds on the shot clock. Warren. Manchester need to put something up here. Time running down. Long two for Warren. Gets it to go at the end of the buzzer. And it's 2-2 here in Manchester. I think we have an issue on the screen with our scoreboard, so we'll keep you updated with the score. It is 2-2 with around 8 minutes 30 to go as Warren takes the ball, racing down the court all the way to the hoop. What a finish there for Annie Warren. And Annie, for me, has been one of the really exciting players to watch in the league so far this season. She's so quick and does a little bit of everything, but she might go a little bit underrated, under the radar, I think, but she's really good, isn't she?
Yeah, yeah, and she's that driver of momentum as well for this Manchester team. You know, getting those steals, getting those tips. Yes, she gets the scores, but at the same time, it creates that momentum and that morale boost for the team after a wobbly start.
Certainly does. So after, as you said, a bit of a wobbly start, Manchester with a 2-point lead here in the first quarter. Gale. And Dale picks off the ball. Going to go all the way to the basket and lays it in. How many times have we seen Davida Dale do that? 7 steals last week against Cardiff. She's got that long wingspan, hasn't she? Uses it really well.
Yeah, you can't be passing no floaty ones in front of Davida.
Gale has Singleton. Gandini calling for it behind the arc, and that's good.
That was a lovely little spot there.
Emma Gandini, 5th in the league in three-point percentage, a really experienced veteran player. Playing outside of Australia for the first time in her career, as Shaw for Manchester finds Williams in the corner. Thomas Johnson hangs in the air, gets the whistle, and Lauren Thomas Johnson going to the foul line. So that's the first foul on Crisper for Sheffield. And after that slow start, Hannah, the last minute or so has been really swinging for Manchester.
Yeah, it has.
And I'm just looking, sorry. Gandini's, it was a long 2, not a 3 that they've called it on the scoreboard.
Fair enough.
She's still a very good 3-point shooter though. So it is a 6-4 Manchester lead.
She's just warming up.
As Thomas Johnson gets the second, takes Manchester to a 3-point lead, 7-4 in the first quarter. Gale to Crisper. Gandini, round to Singleton. Comes up against Dale and has to back out. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Crisper working inside, scoop layup. Drops in, that was a tough move.
Really tough move. There's a long hook there.
Kicks out to Warren. Warren's 3 will go. And Manchester feeling it early on. Singleton. Won't go, Shaw with the rebound. Dale finds Williams. Oh, she's got too much space there. Bounces out. But you can't leave Danny Williams open. Gale. Thought about the shot, finds Crisper. Into Singleton and a foul on the floor. So it'll be a reset from the end line.
I think Sheffield have just been a little bit slow to react to Manchester's offense at the minute. They're really pushing the ball and making Sheffield sprint for it on defence. And yeah, I think, you know, the scoreboard reflects that.
So Kenneth Eo into the game as Hannah Shaw takes a seat. And a foul on the shot is going to send Sheffield to the line. So that's the second team foul on Manchester, first on Annie Warren. And Nina Crisper at the line for two. First one bounces out. Crisper playing in her first season for Sheffield, was with it in Austria last season, 18.4 points and 7.2 rebounds. As she gets the second one to go. Cuts the lead down to 3. Dale. Driving inside, hangs in the air, too strong. Gale leads away for Sheffield. Finds Harrison, catch and shoot 3, it's too strong. Williams trying to break through, spins, goes inside, oh, can't get it to drop, chases down the rebound though, and Dale gets Manchester another chance on offense, and Warren hits another 3. Manchester really in rhythm here, Hannah.
Yeah, they absolutely are. They're really kind of using this momentum and really pushing forward. You know, that was such an aggressive move by Danny Williams there. And,
It was great, wasn't it?
It was lovely. Shame it didn't go in, but you know, we got the 3 from it in the end, so you know, that's a great thing. I think Sheffield are doing a really good job on offensive, like finding the open shot, and they're also, a lot of them are, you know, managing to kind of create that space for themselves. And Georgia, you know, she's a fantastic guard. She's spotting them with her eyes closed and able to get them the pass. They're just not dropping at the minute for them. But no, Manchester are really taking advantage of this.
And that's something that it happens, that when you are a team that do shoot a lot, you know, you go through ups and downs, but as soon as it starts dropping, like, that's all you need to see, isn't it?
It's a game of runs.
It is, isn't it? People don't say that often, but I'm glad you brought that up.
Just to say it every week.
Apologies to anybody watching, we are having an issue with the scoreboard on the screen, but me and Hannah will keep you updated. It's a 13-7 Manchester lead over Sheffield, 5:26 to play in the first quarter. Manchester having hit a 2 of 3 from behind the three-point line. Sheffield haven't hit yet, but they're a team of shooters. Sheffield lead the league in points per game and 3-pointers made. Manchester is second in the league in both of those categories, so it really is a neck and neck game.
It absolutely is. It's a proper battle today. You know, you've got Georgia Gale, who's you know, first for 3-point percentage. And then you've got Danny Williams, like you said, following close behind. And I just think to watch them both on court together fight it out, entertainment.
It's going to be fun, isn't it? Because this is what people want to see. They want to see the fantastic players that we've got out there on court throughout the league. Have them put on a show for the fans as Dale finds Williams. Williams with a kind of hook shot, gets the whistle, and she's going to go to the foul line. Danny Williams just been having an incredible season, 22.2 points per game, 9.9 rebounds, nearly averaging a double-double. Second in both of those in the league. She's third in three-point percentage with 40.6 and has hit 43 threes so far this season. The person in second has hit 30. The gap is incredible. Yeah. She is a shooter. There's no other way to describe
No,
her.
absolutely not.
She did that on purpose. She was like, guys, call me a shooter and I'll miss the free throw.
Calm down, Kaz. That's what she was saying.
But she's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester, hasn't she? And the triple-double last weekend as she gets the second free throw to go. She's been so key to this team.
Yeah, she has. And I love that, the synchronicity between her and Danny Williams. Davida Dale, sorry. You know, they really are good at looking for each other on offence and setting each other up perfectly.
They definitely are. Gale into the corner. Harrison. Three won't go. Williams with the rebound. Dale has it. Dale off the glass and in. And again, it's Davida Dale using that long wingspan, her long reach, able to get the ball high over the defender.
Yeah.
Sheffield looking to answer here. Singleton inside. Puts it in. And Dale thought about the shot, looks to pass out of it. Williams round to Thomas Johnson. And ball's loose. Good D there from Shauna Harrison. And Harrison gets the call, so she's going to go back to the foul line. And that'll be on Danny Williams. That's her first foul. It's a third team foul for Manchester. We've got 4:16 to play here in the first quarter. 16-9 at Manchester lead. And Shauna Harrison, we saw her a few weeks ago during the international break playing for GB in the Eurobasket qualifiers. And GB having qualified, they're going to be heading out.
Yeah, amazing. So great for GB and just women's basketball as a whole.
It's a fantastic showcases. Free throw doesn't go, but the rebound goes to Sheffield. Another chance here as Taylor Williams on the floor trying to take the ball away. It's Manchester that come up with it. Thomas Johnson doubled. Needs to pass out of it. Dale will just slow things down. Dale with a crossover. Out to Thomas Johnson from the foul line. Warren skies in for the rebound. But the ball's loose, and what a move there from Davida Dale.
Yeah, that was brilliant. Fantastic fake. Fake to goal, I think.
So Hannah Shaw back in for Manchester, and Nigel Collier into the game for the first time for Sheffield. Sheffield looking to cut into the 7-point lead. Singleton puts up a three. It's short.
Manchester having quite a bit of success there. I think they're playing a box and one. It looks like they've got the covering Harrison there as the one. And I think it's working well. It's helping to kind of like prevent any movements of what Sheffield are hoping to play out.
It's certainly been effective so far in the first. As Dale gets it into Shaw. Shaw working away to the basket, bounces off the back iron. Williams with the rebound. And then underneath is Nicolette Fairley. Working hard under the basket. She's going to go to the line, but the intensity there from Manchester.
Yeah.
On the board, Hannah, that I feel like we've not seen that so far all season as intense as that.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think, they're really going after it, and I think they know that they're going to get success from drawing these boards.
So first is good for Fairley. Zaya Black into the game for Sheffield as second one doesn't go for Manchester. An 8-point lead with just over 3 minutes to play. Gale gets it back. Singleton into the corner. And miscommunication as the ball goes out of bounds. And Manchester haven't done a good job forcing the turnovers on Sheffield.
Yeah, really. I'll correct myself. I think it's a 1-3-1 zone from this angle. But like you say, it's very effective at the minute. They're forcing the turnovers with Sheffield. Sheffield not able to run anything. When Sheffield are a play-heavy team, they're a team that likes to draw up offences, and they do have success when they follow through, but you know, when you put a zone against it.
As Davida Dale finishes at the basket, and we see Maura Fitzpatrick in for Sheffield. Black in the corner, threes off the rim. Williams with another massive rebound. As Gale knocks the... Oh, last touch Manchester. But really good to see Maura Fitzpatrick. She's been out with an injury for quite some time now, but great to see her on court, because in the time she has played earlier in the season, she's really effective.
Yeah, she really is.
It's a 10-point Manchester lead. Sheffield having had a bit of a dry spell here from the field. As Collier is fouled inside. And that's going to put her at the foul line.
That is one of the disadvantages of having a 1-3-1. If you put a player like Nicolette at the back, you know, she is fighting with the taller players, you know, Singleton, Harrison. You know, not that I'm saying Nicolette can't compete, and she will probably shout at me for saying that, but, you know, if you're stuck there at the back, it can be, you know, a bit of a disadvantage. So it's all about at the top. So Danny Williams and Davida Dale working hard to kind of really box in and double up on the wing. That's where you get those effective steals.
And that's worked well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
3 steals for Manchester already, as we've just got a stoppage on the floor. Is it a shot clock issue? I think the point hasn't gone on for the last score for Collier. So table's just going to get that sorted out, and it will be Manchester ball from the sideline as Emma Gandini and Destiny Walker sub in for Sheffield. Dale backs the ball out, sets things up. Warren back to Dale. Shaw inside, turns and fires. Too much on it as the ball's chased down. Fitzpatrick can't keep it inside, but good hustle there from Maura. And it will be Sheffield ball. Did that last free throw get waved off? I think it's...
No, 2 of 2.
We've just got it's just slightly slow on the scoring in the venue. It is a 19-11 Manchester lead as Gandini kicks it out. And we got a whistle. It's going to put Manchester on 5 team fouls, so Sheffield goes back to the line. Both teams evenly matched from the foul line so far, just shooting 3 of 6 each, and it'll be Nyjah Collier shooting 2. She's playing in Argentina last season, where she was named Player of the Year and Forward of the Year, averaging 12.6 points and 12 rebounds. She's been so effective on the boards for Sheffield this year, 11.3 rebounds. Cuts the lead down to 6. Shaw hands it off to Fairley. Warren goes inside. Oh, blocked! I think it was Collier that got a hand on it. Gandini to Black. Gandini gets it back. Collier. Singleton working away inside. Won't go, and it'll be Manchester ball. Manchester seems to be doing a really good job just clogging it inside.
Yeah, they really are.
Danny Williams back in for Manchester. Warren to Shaw. Dale has it. Warren thought about the shot. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Warren going against Gandini. Won't go. And Sheffield a chance to chip into this. Christmas 3. Doesn't drop, and it's Manchester ball with just over 30 seconds to go in the first. Shaw, round to Dale. Back to Shaw, inside. Too strong off the glass, is picked up by Gandini. Black had space, but gets it inside. Out to Collier. No good, and 1 second is going to have to be a launch from the halfway line. Time will expire, and at the end of the first half, it's a 19-13 lead for Manchester over the Sheffield Hatters. Annie Warren leading the way with 10 points personal for Manchester, and Nigel Collier with 4 points for Sheffield. What do you make of that, Hannah?
I just feel like it's such a fast pace, but then at the same time, both teams are using the offensive block. Like, I'm watching it, I'm trying to kind of analyse the play as it's going on, and then the next one's starting. So yeah, it's mad.
It's frantic and fast
It is really frantic, yeah. That's the best word to describe it.
For two teams that score a lot and that like to run and get out into transition, I guess that's kind of expected, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think Manchester at the minute are doing such a great job of disrupting Sheffield's offence. They like to run the ball through the offence and find those really open looks, focus mainly on kind of the shooting aspect of it. But Manchester are doing a really good job at stopping that, and they're forcing Sheffield in positions that they're not comfortable with. I think it was the last play with Collier, where she caught the ball at the block, but was not set up in the correct foot. Her footwork, she just wasn't there, and that's showing kind of like the basketball IQ of Manchester, where they're using their bodies in a way that kind of disrupts the flow of of a player, and I think then they're gaining on that with their fast breaks and with their little drives to basket.
And that's really effective, isn't it? When you can kind of force a team to play how you want them to play.
Yeah, that's what's important. And I think, Sheffield have got to come back from this now. I think they can, if they get some momentum going through, maybe looking at getting some fast breaks, maybe putting a bit of full court pressure on just to kind of, see if they can get away with some steals. Because, they have been looking to push the ball. George has been great at looking down the court, but they've just not been, those passes just haven't been executed, unfortunately.
And the last time these two teams met, it was back in November in Sheffield. Sheffield won that one 83-66. And Sheffield, also the team that knocked Manchester out of trophy contention earlier in the season. So they feel like they've come out with a bit of fire here.
Yeah, they really have.
And when you've had a couple of games like that against a team and a team that's above you in the standings, does it give you a bit more? I mean, there's always motivation, but it's just like give you a little bit extra.
100%. And I think as well, given it's their Manchester's, it's their first home game back after however long, and I think for them now it's like we're back in our position, we're back in our home. This is it.
And we're a team that's got a bit more comfortable. Can take a while, can't it, throughout the season to kind of gel. As we're back on court for the second quarter, it's a 6-point Manchester lead as Fitzpatrick doesn't get it to go into the basket. Warren pulls down the ball. Fitzpatrick in the corner. Nothing but net. And more Fitzpatrick back in action, back on the scoreboard.
I feel like if you ever don't know who's caught the rebound for Manchester, it's always just going to be Warren.
It is, yeah.
I feel like I'm not sure who got that rebound. It'll be Warren.
And for slightly undersized there as well to chase the ball down. As Dale nearly came up with the steal. It's Collier that has it. Gandini passes out but gets it back. Collier, long two. Oh, that's a nice shot from Collier.
Lovely form on that shot.
And it felt like she took her time with it. Just set herself up. She's got the height advantage. As Dale has Williams. Williams with a long two. Williams up to 3 points personal.
Manchester are really effective at the minute coming off those screens. They're using Hannah Shaw so well at the top there, and I think it's just giving them that bit extra space between them and the defenders.
It certainly is. Fitzpatrick comes up with the steal. Dale. And Davida Dale is always one of the first players down the other end of the court as Shaw catches the shoot, bounces out. Fitzpatrick chases it down. And Manchester again, another chance. They've been doing a fantastic job offensively, rebounding today. Williams fouled on the shot. And 5 offensive rebounds for Manchester, 6 with that last one. Turning that into 6 second chance points, something they may have struggled with a little bit earlier.
Yeah, and I think they've struggled with that quite a lot throughout the season. You know, if you look at their losses that they've had, you know, a lot of that has been, you know, if you look, it correlates with the rebounding. It's not been that great. So I think, you know, they are understanding the importance of second chance points and fighting till the very last second.
Certainly as Williams hits the first free throw. That foul was called on Crisper, her second for Sheffield. So Shauna Harrison back into the game for the Hatters. Williams goes 2 of 2 from the line and takes her up to 5 points. Extends Manchester's lead to 11. Crisper driving, kicks it out. Pass is knocked away, Williams comes up with it. Great hands there from Danny Williams as he picks up her 4th steal, launches from deep. It's short, but the ball's loose and we've got a jump ball called. Will go Sheffield's way.
Manchester are really punishing Sheffield at the minute with those passes. I think at the minute Sheffield needs to kind of take a look back and sharpen them up. You know, if you've got Danny Williams and Vida Dale in the way, you're not going to get there, you know, and it's going to turn into 2 points. So they've just got to really sharpen up those passes at the minute.
Davida picking up 3.5 steals per game, that's 2nd in the league. And we'll see Eva Karashaita check in for the first time this game for Manchester. Gandini. Her three's good. I told you, didn't I, to start with? She was just getting warmed up.
Yeah, definitely.
Gandini up to 5. Dale driving baseline, reverse, too much on it. And Gale gets the block from behind. Possession goes to Manchester from the end line. And good reaction there from Georgia Gale. Don't give up an easy shot. Comes up with a block. Dale, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Williams is doubled. Out to Thomas Johnson. Oh, nice step through. No good, but again, another offensive board for Manchester. And it was Annie Williams.
Yeah.
Warren, sorry, Annie Warren. Dale behind the back. Clock running down 1 second. And that will be a shot clock violation, so good defense from Sheffield. Foul called under the basket. Singleton, as she was spinning to the hoop, draws the contact. As Nicolette Fairley back into the game for Manchester. And Coach Rhiannon Bailey seems like she's using her rotations really well this game. A couple of players unavailable today. No Georgia Anderson, no Bridie Kennedy Hapuate, but she's gone to her bench.
Yeah, she's gone early on. But again, I think, you know, looking at the intensity and the flying up and down the court, I think you're going to get tired. You need to use your bench, keep everyone fresh, keep everyone, you know, going, and it's a smart play.
Seems to be working as Singleton gets the second free throw. Cuts into the lead. It's a 6-point lead for Manchester now. They were up 11 earlier. Fairley. Looking for some help. Warren's there. Warren all the way to the basket. Not that time. As Gandini passes out to Gale. Georgia Gale from 3. Never in doubt. That is as pure as it gets, isn't it?
You can't leave her open like that. She's going to take it.
And it's a single possession game after that Gale 3, 26-23, as we've got a timeout called. And that is Georgia Gale's 68th game out of 73 where she's made a 3-pointer in the last 4 seasons.
I mean, what a stat line, you know. You can't compete with that, can you?
You can't. I had a burning desire to know how many she made in the last 4 seasons earlier in the week, so I went and found out. But a big shot from Gale there. And it's a 3-point lead for Manchester. Obviously up earlier, but Sheffield have done a great job to get themselves back into this.
Yeah, they're not letting go. You know, they're really clinging on, and I think their defence as well has really sharpened up. They're clogging the inside quite a bit, and they're doubling up on David Dale and Danny Williams because they know that they're dangerous. And you know, they're making Manchester rethink. You know, there's been a few drives there that have been attempted, and you know, it's not even that we're not even getting to the basket. They're having to either bring the ball back out or drive right through to the other side, and I think that's great. I think Sheffield are really making this a battle now and making Manchester work for it.
They certainly are. And we mentioned the rebound earlier, but 9 offensive rebounds for Manchester, 8 defensive. You don't often see it that way, do you?
No, that is a rare stat, that.
And 6 second chance points off those. And rebounding has been Danny Williams with 4 rebounds. And Annie Warren has 3 offensive boards. And Annie Warren at 5'8". She's out jumping a lot of people, isn't she?
Yes.
So back out on court. It's Manchester ball, just over 6 minutes to play in the half. Warren calling for it. And I think that, will that be a foul on Warren? I think it was a...
No, I think he's just stopped the play to have a chat.
Looked like Gandini just got caught as Warren was moving the ball out of the way. So it'll be sideline ball, Manchester. Thomas Johnson hands it back to Warren. Warren passes nearly knocked away, but it's Williams that keeps it alive. Sheffield with a chance to tie on this possession. Gandini into Singleton. Oh, what a catch! And a travel called. That was a tough pass.
Yeah, it really was. It was a great look. Really great look.
Again, good defense from Manchester to react and force a turnover. Fairley against Gale. Williams. Warren. Time running down, 5 seconds. And a foul called on the floor, a holding foul. That'll go against Sheffield. That's on Georgia Gale, her first. So sideline ball for Manchester as Davida Dale checks back in. Nicolette Fairley heads to the bench. Thomas Johnson to Dale. Warren, 1 second, has to put something up here. Warren at the buzzer. Getting to go, and Annie Warren on fire so far in the first half.
I mean, if there's anybody you want to give me buzzer beater shot, it's Annie Warren. That's the second one today.
12 points personal for Annie. Pass is intercepted by Thomas Johnson. Everyone getting in on the steal action. And Danny Williams just can't quite keep the ball inside. I think everyone was running a bit too fast there.
Yeah. I hate those passes because sometimes, like, guys, I'm just not quick enough. Like, where did you think I was going? How did you think I was going to get there? I'm not that
It's
fast.
the faith. You've got faith in you.
I mean, I like that, but
Gandini. Gale. Has Dale on it. Gale into Singleton. Singleton working hard to a basket.
she deserves that one. She's been working so hard there, trying to, you know, find a position inside.
Davida Dale is just putting on a show here. Her handles are absolutely incredible. Behind the back, crossing over, runs into traffic though. Azio goes all the way to the basket, doesn't drop. Gandini with a running floater tipped into the hands of Sheffield, though. This is frantic basketball.
Yeah. It's very scatty.
Singleton has the ball knocked away, but picked up. It's going to be a foul called on Manchester, so the end result of that is Sheffield go to the foul line, and after working really hard under the basket.
Yeah, and you can see kind of like each team's really battling it out for it, and you know the fouls are coming now. I think it's getting a little bit more physical than the first quarter. So I'm predicting that we're going to see a few more free throws.
Both teams on 2 team fouls at the moment. Collier at the line. First one bounces off. Came out of the University of Central Missouri in 2022. Spent time playing in Bolivia when she averaged 15 rebounds a game. That's a lot of rebounds.
That is a lot of rebounds.
Gale chases down the rebounds to Sheffield. Singleton. Again, pass is knocked loose. Sheffield have it. 1 second, have to put something up here. The clock's going to run down. And we've got chaos on the floor.
There absolutely is mania.
So it was a shot clock violation. The ball was loose. I think the Hatters perhaps
they think
saying that it was a change of possession, so it should have reset the shot clock. But call on the floor is that it was a 24-second shot clock violation. It's Manchester ball. They have a 3-point lead, and it's in the hands of Davida Dale. Williams swings it to Warren. Warren with that short jumper, it's off right. Sheffield with a chance to tie here. Gale. Singleton, 3, no good. Williams leading the charge. And Warren can't quite save it in. And a couple of turnovers there for Manchester the last couple of possessions, and the pace they're playing at, that almost seems inevitable.
Yeah, I think it is. I think that's what's resulting in these turnovers right now, is just them kind of like mishandling the ball. They just need to tighten up on that.
Gandini lines up a 3, not that time.
They're getting the shots, Sheffield. They are getting the looks. They're just not dropping it at the minute.
Williams using the screen from Shaw. Shaw inside. Oh, nice roll to the basket. It spins out. Gandini into Singleton, driving through.
What a drive. That was fantastic footwork.
Great awareness from Gandini.
Yeah. Lovely pass inside.
And it's a 1-point game. Shaw round to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick goes to the hole, too strong. Singleton to the cutting crisper, it's intercepted. Nanny Warren comes up with it. Williams, sidestep 3, too much on it, but Davida Dale just grabs the rebound, finds Williams, who puts it in. What a possession.
Me and you just took a collective deep breath then, didn't we? Finally actually breathed out.
It's so non-stop, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Manchester needed to settle down a little bit then. I think on the offense they were kind of throwing up shots, and you know, they weren't quite dropping. Like we said, because of the speed that they're playing at, you know, the velocity of them putting the ball at the basket, then kind of, you know, it's bouncing back out. But that then was a great little play from Danny Williams and Davida Dale, finding her on the inside. I love those baseline drives. They're honestly one of my favourite plays of basketball. A baseline drive with an inside cutter and a little drop inside. Oh, magic. absolute magic.
And the last couple of possessions we've seen Sheffield drive, the Clips are driving in, and that's resulting in points.
Yeah, they're doing really well at creating that space and allowing for their teammates to move effectively inside and cut into the basket. As a player, when you're making these fantastic cuts, and when you're not getting looked at by your team, it's the most annoying thing. And you're like, I was wide open, but Sheffield are really, really good. They've clearly got that kind of that teamwork where they know where each other's going and they can kind of predict, make those passes inside, and they've had some really effective scoring from it.
And that speaks as well to the testament of the great job Vanessa Ellis has done coaching, because as we mentioned earlier, she's a relatively new team, like not inexperienced players, but having inexperienced in playing together.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you look at kind of the history of Sheffield and the history of their offense, it is very much a pass and cut. You don't kind of see them setting screens for somebody to drive from the perimeter. It's always like a pass and cut movement.
And it worked well from as Dale picks up a steal. Dale, she's going to go all the way. Coast-to-coast basketball. Davida Dale doing it on both ends of the floor.
I mean, she's literally just sat down and then got back up and managed to still mark the ball.
Comes up with another steal. Scoop layup, rolls off the rim. I think the bench would have exploded if that would have gone in.
I really do.
Harrison. One pass over to Gale. Loads of space there for Georgia Gales. It bounces off the back of the rim.
I mean, the ball's just falling into her hands at this point.
Fitzpatrick. More Fitzpatrick. 6 points personal. Increases the Manchester lead up to 8 after Sheffield have brought it within 1. Harrison into the corner. Gandini. Ball's out of bounds. Will stay with Sheffield.
I feel like Davida Dale's just got this radar of like where the ball's going and how far her wingspan is going to kind of intercept it.
Gale is fouled on the drive. That'll be on Fitzpatrick. That's their third team foul for Manchester, so Sheffield at reset from the baseline. 26.5 seconds to go in the half. Gale into Crisper. Passes to Singleton, and Hannah Shaw will be called for the foul. First foul on Hannah Shaw, and shots for Sheffield as Singleton back to the foul line. Tyre Singleton leading the team in scoring so far this season, 16.3 points per game, which is good for 9th in the league, 7.8 rebounds, and has been pulling down just over 4 offensive rebounds a game, and that's huge.
Yeah.
So a timeout called with 22.9 seconds, so Manchester will have the last possession here. They can hold for the last shot if they bring it down full court, and they've got a 6-point lead. So if you're Coach Rhiannon Bailey here, Hannah, what are you looking to do on this last possession?
Oh, I'm running it out. I'm running the clock out. We've got this momentum now. That's what they're thinking. You're wanting to kind of keep it going into the second half. So I just think, run the clock down and really focus on getting that final basket.
And for Sheffield, obviously, a big defensive stop would be good for them here going into half-time. It's a 6-point lead. That 8 can almost feel like it's nearly 10, but 6, you can kind of be like, well, it's nearly 5.
Yeah, exactly.
So it could be a good momentum swing for Sheffield.
That's basketball, man. Yeah. But you're right, I think, for them, they just want to kind of see if they can get a steal here, get a defensive stop. And it allows you to kind of have that kind of, right, okay, what's next? Like you said, it's, what can we get this down to next, And then you're a run away then from taking the lead, so.
And is it kind of sometimes a team, if Manchester get a score here, they feel like they've got momentum going into half-time, but if Sheffield get a stop, it's the last play, you feel like you've got the momentum.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You can feel it, when you're walking back into the changing rooms.
So So 22.9 seconds on the clock. Fitzpatrick into Warren. Warren will get it over the line. Manchester can use the clock. Williams to Dale. Fitzpatrick turns and shoots. No good. 5 seconds. Sheffield have time here. Georgia Gale. You want it in her hands if it's going to be up. I thought that was a bounce.
That was dropping.
That's the player that you want to be shooting a three at the end of the clock. So at the end of the first half, it's a 35-29 lead for Manchester over the Sheffield Hatters. Leading all scorers is Annie Warren, a huge 12 points for her, along with 4 rebounds, 3 of them offensive and 2 steals. Danny Williams has 9 points, 5 rebounds and 3 steals. And Davida Dale, 6 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals. She's ridiculous. And for the Sheffield Hatters, Tyre Singleton leads the scoring with 10 points, a rebound and an assist. Emma Gandini, 7 points for her, 7 rebounds, 3 assists and a steal. And Nigel Collier off the bench with 4 points and 3 rebounds. So a really strong first half there from Manchester, Hannah.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, like we said, they've been playing a little bit manic at times, but I think that just comes with the territory of, when you're playing with aggression and you're playing with intensity, sorry. So I think for them now it's just about kind of being a bit more clinical with those shots, but keeping that momentum going.
So Manchester shooting 33% from the field, having hit 4 threes, shooting 40% from the three-point line. Sheffield shooting 37% from the field and just 14% from the three-point line, having hit 2. And for the Hatters, we spoke about it before, those cuts inside, they have got a lot of three-point shooters out there on the team, and we know, Georgia Gale, Emma Gandini can hit it when they need to. Do you think they just continue with what they're doing? Because like you said, they've had those looks, the shot just hasn't dropped for them on some
Yeah,
occasions.
I think Manchester have done a really good job of coming out in this 1-3-1 zone, and I think it's putting pressure on the perimeter, so they're not giving them, they've not got the space to shoot. And I think that's sometimes where Sheffield struggles. So I think for them it's now they need to go back to the drawing board, work out a way to kind of fill those gaps. They have been doing really well and using the inside cutters and, changing things up and being like, okay, what else can we do instead? So I think, if they're wanting to look at more perimeter shooting, this is going to be something that they're really, Vanessa's going to have to sit down and have a look at and really work out how they play this best.
And Sheffield are a team that next weekend they're going to be playing in the Cup final against the Oaklands Wolves, March 9th at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. And how great is that for Sheffield to be back in a silverware contention?
Yeah, I mean, it's expected though as well with them. They're a team that you kind of you don't. It'd be a shocker if they were anywhere but at the top of the league. So I think for them it's new. It's the same territory. That like you say, it's something they're used to. They're always there.
And the men's team playing against the 389ers, so it could be a Sheffield doubleheader.
Yeah.
You never know. So you can get your tickets for that. You can go to Super League Basketball M or Super League Basketball W. Grab your tickets. It's going to be a great day of action. The women's game tips off at 12:30 and the men's game at 3:30. And against the Oaklands Wolves, that's 2 very fast-paced teams, isn't it? It's going to be fun. It's going to be a high-scoring final, I think. So we're going to take a short break for half-time, and we'll be back with you in around 8 minutes' time. Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as we get ready for the second half between Manchester Basketball and the Sheffield Hatters. Manchester have a 6-point lead over Sheffield as we head into the third quarter, 35-29, and Annie Warren has just been doing everything for Manchester Basketball. 12 points for her on 55% shooting from the field, along with 4 rebounds. She's leading all scorers. But for the Sheffield Hatters, it's been Tyre Singleton, 10 points for her, along with 2 rebounds. And Hannah, we spoke about it just before the break. It's been fast, it's been frantic, it's been chaotic. It's been brilliant basketball, hasn't it?
It absolutely has. You know, I think both teams are working really hard. It's an absolute battle today. It's a battle on the board, it's a battle in the post, it's a battle on the perimeter. And I think, yeah, it's going to be a really exciting second half.
It certainly is so. And as a reminder, Sheffield sitting in second place in the standings, 10 wins, 2 losses. Those losses coming to Oakland's Wolves and Caledonia Gladiators. Manchester 8-4 sitting in third place. Had a loss to Sheffield earlier this season, and it looks like they're out for revenge at the moment.
It really does.
So Thomas Johnson to Warren. Williams pulls up from the foul line. That's a tough shot, a hand in her face.
Absolutely stroked that shot in.
Picks up where she left off in the first half. Harrison steps back. 3. Too strong. Williams with the rebound. Finds Dale. Dale on the baseline. Good ball movement here from Manchester as Warren drains a 3. And that is really good team basketball.
Yeah, it is. That's Manchester basketball right there. You know, the drive, baseline drive, kick. It's just fantastic.
And Annie Warren, 3 of 3 from behind the arc. Puts Manchester up 11. Gale to Singleton. Singleton looks to answer. And jump ball is called. Going to stay Manchester ball, Sheffield ball.
Smart play by Harrison there, from behind. Way to keep the ball in.
Yeah, because if you're Sheffield, you don't want this lead to get too far ahead. 11 points is the biggest lead Manchester have had in this game. They had it in the first half. Gandini, her 3, spins out. Warren for Manchester, over to Dale. She's got space there. 3's off. Williams picks up the rebound, and again, another jump ball called. So this time it will stay Manchester ball. I want the jump ball column. I want to know who has forced the most jump balls in a game.
Yeah, but it's also the most irritating play when it happens. Like, if like that, when it's like, I've got this rebound, why are you trying to take it off me? And then they force the jump ball, and it's like...
You could have had a rebound.
Yeah, it's so irritating. It's probably one of the biggest icks of basketball, I'd say.
Five seconds on the shot clock. Williams has Harrison on her. Williams, difficult shot, doesn't matter. Danny Williams, hand in her face, driving the baseline.
She wasn't even in line with the basket. She's at a 45-degree behind the backboard.
Biggest lead of the game so far for Manchester. Gale blocked by Dale. Ball's out of bounds, will stay with Sheffield. I don't think I can get over that last shot from Danny Williams.
Yeah. I'm just trying to do the physics in my head, and it's just, the math isn't mathing.
Singleton. 6 seconds on the shot clock. Gandini lines it up, too strong. Intercepted. Gandini has it. Passes back out to Crisper. Singleton working against Shaw. And a foul called against Manchester. That'll be against Hannah Shaw, her second. First team foul for Manchester this quarter. And that's going to put Ty Singleton at the foul line. Singleton shooting just under 74% from the stripe so far this season. Gets the second one to go, takes Sheffield up to 30. It's a 12-point lead for Manchester. And it's been a 7-1 run for Manchester so far this quarter. Dale. Pass is knocked out of bounds, last touch Manchester.
That was a great read by Sheffield there.
It's a Sheffield ball from the end line. As I think you got a spot on the floor? No, all good to go. Manchester picking up full court here. Gandini. Ball's knocked away by Dale. Gandini tries to get it back at the other end and does. Great hustle there from Emma Gandini, but Dale picks the ball out of the air, keeps it alive as Warren has the ball. Williams back out to Dale, who's just going to try and slow things down and pull up for the long two. It's short.
I think me and you need a subcast.
This is intense.
Can't keep up.
I mean, you can see how hard Davida Dale is working.
Yeah.
She did everything to get the ball. Emma Gandini stole it back, and then Davida just reaches out of the air and pulls the ball away.
Gandini's just fighting for her life at the minute. You know, she was not letting Davida get that ball then.
Singleton to Gale. Gale launches from deep and hits. And that's what she does. Georgia Gale with her second three of the game, up to 6 points. Cuts into this Manchester lead.
Nice
Shaw,
pass.
long two, nails it.
That's what Hannah Shaw's great for, those nice little perimeter shots.
I like her little turnaround jumper as well that she's got.
And her one-handed off the backboard, I think that's fantastic.
Yeah. Send us your favourite Hannah Shaw plays in the comments. Good ball movement here from Sheffield as Gandini's three won't go, but Crisper chases it down, can't finish. Singleton fighting for the ball and puts it in. And Taya Singleton is working so hard.
She really is.
And sorry, Hannah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say she's absolutely fighting for those boards, and she's knowing, you know, the importance right now of those second chance points. She's not letting it go.
And we've not actually seen Maddie Washington in the game for Sheffield, and someone that has a really imposing presence for Sheffield inside, and Singleton has really filled that gap.
Yeah, she has.
Singleton. Again, she'll draw the foul, and that's going to be number 3 on Shaw for Manchester. Taya Singleton will go to the line for 2. So into the game for Manchester, Maura Fitzpatrick and Nicolette Fairley. Annie Warren and Hannah Shaw head into the bench. So Singleton back at the foul line. Shot 5 of 6 so far today. Oh, that's my fault. Again. She's up to 11 points personal, 2 rebounds and 2 assists. Second one's good. And Manchester were up 13 earlier. It's an 8-point lead now. Sheffield aren't going anywhere. And jump ball is called. Goes the way of Sheffield.
Coming into the game, number 9, Destiny Walker.
So Destiny Walker back in for the Hatters. Walker only signed with Sheffield last week, so a very fresh-faced addition to this team, but someone that's going to be really impactful throughout the course of the season. As she swings it round to Gale. Gale! Oh, Georgia Gale drops it in, and Georgia Gale's range is not anywhere near the three-point line, is it?
No, it's not.
She's got that Steph Curry range as the ball is out of bounds, Manchester ball.
I'm going to correct you there. Caitlin Clark.
I do apologise.
You knew what I was going to say before I even said it.
Williams into Dale.
That was too close to that halfway line for me.
And ball's out of bounds. Thomas Johnson can't keep it in between the lines. And Sheffield having gone on a run here in the third. The last few minutes or so. Gandini, three's up, spins down, stays with Sheffield.
I think Manchester are looking a little bit tired. I don't know whether, you know, the momentum of the opening first few minutes has just kind of set them off a little bit. I think they just need to kind of settle it down now and go back to do what they're doing best, you know, move the ball well, be effective on the inside passes.
So a foul on Fairley with a fourth on Manchester. So sideline ball, Sheffield will reset. And that's a third on Fairley. So both Shaw and Fairley on 3 team fouls for Manchester. It's only Crisper for Sheffield on 2 fouls. And we've got another jump ball. This is why we need the jump ball column.
Why don't you make your own column? You can do it. See, I liked it that way because it turned the ball our way, but...
Dale against Gale. Dale driving to the basket. Good hands there from Gale. Pokes the ball out of bounds because otherwise Davida Dale just had a clear pass to the basket.
She did. She had a wide open lane, but like you said, it was a great read there from Georgia.
Thomas Johnson. Brown Samora. Fitzpatrick. Dale pulls up from the foul line. Won't go. Oh, Williams fighting for the ball with Singleton, and jump ball number 357 of today's game will go the way of Sheffield. And Hannah Shaw and Annie Warren checking back in for Manchester. And we should mention as well, Hannah, so the Sheffield Hatters playing without Laura Zolper, who unfortunately picked up an injury a couple of weeks ago against the Caledonia Gladiators, and that's, you know, we wish her all the best because you don't like to see that at all. She's been fantastic this season, but she's been a really impactful player for them, 16 points a game, so to lose her can be a little bit difficult to adjust to.
Yeah, definitely can. You know, you've got to readjust, you've got to rethink. But yeah, we wish her all the best.
And it's also that who's going to step up into that position. Yeah. And we've seen, you know, Tyre Singleton having a fantastic game so far.
Yeah, she absolutely has.
So 6-point lead for Manchester. A slightly quieter third quarter for both teams. It's a 10-9 run for Sheffield this quarter. Just over 3 minutes to play. Warren has space for 3. That's her first miss of the game from 3.
Great position in there for Maura Fitzpatrick under the basket.
And Dale finds a way off the front of the rim. Almost looked like she had too much space. Yeah. Harrison. Walker in the corner. 3. Destiny Walker, first points of the game, and a big bucket for Sheffield, cuts it to a single possession game. Manchester were up 13 earlier. Williams Williams looks to answer. Ball's chased down, but it's Walker with the possession. Harrison. Sheffield have a chance to tie or take the lead here. A big possession for the Hatters. Crisper, round to Walker. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Crisper into Singleton. Has to pass out. Gale for 3 and the lead. Georgia Gale with a huge basket for the Sheffield Hatters. Put them back on top for the first time since the first possession of the game.
Yeah, absolutely. They really deserved that then. That was a fantastic ball movement, you know, looking for that open shot. And they have, you know, they're really making Manchester work for this. So I think, you know, it was well deserved.
And that takes Gale up to 12 points. And Georgia Gale playing in her 7th season for the Sheffield Hatters. She's just consistently great for this team, isn't she?
Yeah, she absolutely is.
16.6 points per game, 5.8 assists for Georgia Gale, and a huge 3 there to put Sheffield up 1 in the 3rd quarter. So with just under 2 minutes to play, Manchester, you mentioned it, maybe getting a little bit tired after that really fast-paced first half. How do you now try and counter this?
I mean, I think for them now, they've got to come out with a defensive-focused mindset. You know, they get some steals in, get some defensive stops in, and then, you know, that's how I think they're best at building that momentum and building that kind of fire again for themselves. So, yeah, I've been coming out now more defensive-minded and really kind of going for the balls. I mean, both teams have been fantastic with their efforts in, you know, like you say, in your jump balls and going for, you know, diving on the floor, really going after everything. And I think for Manchester now, it's just to kind of really step that up a little bit more now.
And I think something we can see, so Manchester with 6 fast break points, Sheffield with 3. So those 6 fast break points for Manchester coming in the first half, not having had any in the 3rd. And we saw how quick they were able to get those steals from Danny Williams and Davida Dale. Haven't been able to do that as they would have liked to in the 3rd.
Yeah, no, and I think, you know, they've been missing quite a few as well. And I think, you know, it's showing now. So they just need to kind of take a step back and reevaluate.
So back out on court, 1:48 to play in the 3rd. Warren to Dale. And foul's called off the ball. I think that'll be on Walker. Sarah Fitzpatrick were just having a little
to do. Little to do.
So first foul on Walker. And Manchester ball. Dale. Round to Williams. And passes too strong inside.
It was a good look. Just wasn't quite executed.
So Sheffield up 1. Collier hands off to Harrison. Walker inside. Collier out to Harrison. Harrison's 3 is chased down by Williams. Williams racing to the basket, stepping through, in off the glass.
I mean, that was what, 1 on 3?
Just stepping through. Williams up to 13 points personal. Collier. Manchester back on top now by 1. Crisper has Shaw on her. Harrison's doubled. Time running down, ball's deflected into the hands of Warren. Dale back out to Warren. And good recovery there from Sheffield.
Yeah. Made it back down just in time, forcing Manchester to take the ball out and slow it down.
Shaw for 3. Won't go, but Williams with the rebound. Fitzpatrick fights for it and gives Manchester another chance as the ball's knocked out of bounds and will stay Manchester ball. 20.6 seconds in the quarter, 13 seconds on the shot clock. As Nicolette Fairley checks back in, Davida Dale heads to the bench. So it's Manchester ball from the end line. So 12 seconds on the shot clock. Referees are just taking a second off. Fitzpatrick, long two. No good. Williams gets the rebound. Warren lines up a three. No. Sheffield can take the last shot. Walker looking to pass out of it. Gandini, great screen from Crisper. And at the end of the third quarter, a 1-point lead. 46 to Manchester, 45 to Sheffield. It was a 16-11 run from Sheffield that quarter. Sheffield down 13 early on in the third, but has pulled it back to a 1-point game.
I mean, looking at the scoreline, you know, Sheffield, you know, they've scored the same amount of points as they did in the second quarter, and I think for them, they're not really doing anything different. It's Manchester, I think, that, you know, they're missing a few now. There's a few more turnovers, and then Sheffield are just able to capitalise on that.
Yeah, and we see Destiny Walker come into the game off the bench. She's made an impact, you know, a couple of rebounds, 3 points for her, but having someone as well, some more fresh legs off the bench really helps.
Yeah, oh, definitely. You know, when you've got somebody that's, you know, like you said, got fresh legs, can come on and really run the floor with you and keep up, you know, and like that, Manchester are such a fast team that you have to be sprinting back to make sure that you're back on defence. You know, especially if you've got people like Danny Williams who are going to go 1-on-3, you know, you need as many players as you can back on defence.
So leading all scorers at the moment, it's Annie Warren, 15 points for her, along with 4 rebounds and an assist. Danny Williams on 13 points for Manchester with 10 rebounds, a double-double for her, 2 assists and 4 steals. And for the Sheffield Hatters, Tyre Singleton, 14 points, 3 rebounds and 2 assists, and Georgia Gale adding in 12 points. All her points coming from behind the 3-point line, along with a couple of rebounds and 5 assists. And we talk about Georgia Gale's shooting, but also her passing. It's just, she's got a great court vision.
Yeah, no, she really does, and she's got that precision as well with her passing. She's really able to hone in on her teammates and also pass to where they're going, which is such a skill to have, and to be able to do that with precision, it is immense.
So teams coming back out on court. It will be Manchester ball. They have a 1-point lead, 10 more minutes to go. The last time these two teams met up back in November, Sheffield with a big win, 83-66. They also knocked Manchester out of the trophy. Is it Manchester's time today? Let's find out. But always a battle between these two teams, as it has been over the course of many seasons.
Yeah. I mean, it's the Northern Derby, really, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It is, as Gandini strips the ball. Harrison. Oh, what a pass back to Harrison. And great hands from Fairley to knock it out of bounds.
That was really nice fast break play there from Sheffield, which we rarely get to see.
Yeah.
Nice to see.
It was like a perfect fast break drill, wasn't it? Apart from the end. Nicolette did the defensive work. Harrison. Gandini in the corner. Nothing but net. And again, Sheffield now back on top, up 2. Warren hands off to Williams, and an offensive foul is called. That'll be on Warren. That's her third. So gives Sheffield the ball back.
I think that is one of the risks with Manchester's offence. It's such the handoff, and because they can go so quick, they're running so fast. I think sometimes you can have the risk of a moving screen.
Gandini. Out to Collier, swings it round. Walker comes up against Shaw. Gandini off the rim. Chased down by Sheffield. Gives them another chance on offense as Singleton finds Walker in the corner, keeps it alive. That was a tough save. And Singleton all alone underneath the basket puts it in.
That was a great offence by Sheffield. You know, they really moved the ball, making Manchester, had them running around their tails, basically. Had them chasing their tails, that's the correct phrase.
Fairley needs some help to hand out of it. Warren's there. Warren from the foul line, off the front of the rim. Gandini with the rebound. Sheffield feel like they're on a bit of a roll here.
Yeah, I think they're on a run. Manchester really needs to work hard now and get some defensive stops.
Harrison, 3, bounces out, saves the ball in and gets it over to Walker. Shauna Harrison took a hard fall as
Yeah, she really did.
went to save that ball.
I think she caught it and passed it whilst still in the air.
She did, yeah, she did. That's incredible from Shauna Harrison, and results in a score for Sheffield. So it looks like she's okay. As that's a really...
I'd need a lie down after that. I mean, that's just like just a demonstration of the pure athleticism.
Like, she looked like she was flying.
She
yeah.
was
She's
mid-air.
going to enjoy watching that back, I think, even if she's going to feel it tomorrow.
Yeah.
But a 6-point lead for Sheffield here, their biggest lead of the game. And this is, you know, Sheffield, they're in second place for a reason. They've only lost 2 games all season for a reason. They're a team that if they are down, they can fight back.
Yeah.
And
I think Manchester, it would have been kind of silly to not expect them to fight back, you know, and not expect this run. So, yeah, and I'm guessing Rihanna has planned for this, you know, she's got things in place.
2 seconds, Dale fading away, won't go, ball's out of bounds, back with the Hatters. Manchester seem to have lost a bit of that momentum from the first half.
Yeah, they really have. Look, scrambling a little bit now, I think, as well on defence.
Gale drives inside, ball bounces out. Williams with rebound number 11, races down the court, has Fairley will go to the foul line. So Nicolette Fairley with a chance to cut into this Hatters lead here, and that's the 2nd foul on Singleton for the Hatters. Nicolette Fairley, a player that was with the Sheffield Hatters for a couple of seasons.
Yeah.
Came back to Manchester playing in her 10th season. A really experienced player. And a great coach as well.
Yeah, she is. And a great teammate as well.
Said lots of nice things about her.
Oh, no, don't free
throws. Cuts the lead down to 4. Walker. Gale calling for it. She's got space. That's too much space for Georgia Gale as she banks it in on a Saturday afternoon. And for Gale, you just can't give her like an inch.
Can't. Yeah, you really can't. She'll take every centimetre.
5 threes for Georgia Gale. Sheffield again with the biggest lead of the game so far, up to 7. Thomas Johnson. And Thomas Johnson's fouled. So she's going to go to the foul line. And Sheffield just edging out this lead a bit here.
Yeah.
It's been a 7-1 run, sorry, a 10-1 run for Sheffield this quarter. As Thomas Johnson hits the first. And gets the roll on the second. Maura Fitzpatrick checks back in, and Thomas Johnson will head to the bench. Gale against Fairley. Gandini pulls up for the short jumper, it spins off. And Sheffield look like they're getting quite a lot of space behind the line, as Fairley can't get the shot to go, and a jump ball is called. It will be Sheffield ball. So Gandini to inbound. Manchester picking up full court. Walker gets it over the line. Gale Gale, long two. Not that time. Williams with the rebound. And great awareness there as Fitzpatrick tipped the ball into to Williams' hands. She knows she's not going to be able to pull it down, just tip it.
Tip it to your teammate. I mean, if anybody's going to catch it, Williams.
So Nicolette Fairley heads to the bench. Annie Warren back in for Manchester. Manchester can cut this to a single possession lead here. Warren. Williams. Back to Dale. Has Walker on her. Shaw. Kicks it to Warren. 3 seconds. Warren long two. Won't go. And a foul's going to be called on Manchester. That's going to be on Shaw, and that's her 4th foul. So Thomas Johnson checks in. So we approach the 5-minute mark of the 4th quarter. Gale. Gale looking to pass out. Gandini. 5 seconds. Gandini to the basket. Oh, what a finish for Emma Gandini.
She's got a really quick first step, able to drive it.
Singleton forces Dale out. Fitzpatrick's 3 grazes the rim. It's kicked out of bounds. Going to stay with Manchester.
That looked like it was going in from this angle.
So Manchester ball from the end line. It's a 7-point Hatters lead. It's been all Sheffield this quarter. As a reaching foul called on Collier. So it's been a 12-4 run for Sheffield this quarter. How do Manchester kind of find that form that they've had in the first?
I think, realistically, I think for them right now, it's just about finishing. A lot of the shots, they've had some good looks, but they're just not getting the ball in. And it's becoming quite a physical game, so they need to kind of compensate for that as well.
Dale can't get the layup to fall. Gandini. Gale to Collier. Singleton into Collier. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Walker working against Williams. Walker to the basket. Count that and the foul. Destiny Walker with a big bucket for the Hatters. A chance to take this lead up to 10 points. And that'll be foul number 3 on Danny Williams. And Destiny Walker, 5 points in the game.
She was not getting to that basket then.
Can't finish on the 3-point play. A player that's played in Athletes Unlimited out in the States, so experience playing at a really high level and bringing her talents over here to the SLB in the UK as Dale for Manchester. Too strong off the glass. Ball's bouncing about. Warren comes away with it, puts it in. And Annie Warren hustling for Manchester. Collier into Singleton. Picked off by Danny Williams. Williams racing down the court, has Gandini behind her. Williams will put it in, puts the lead to 5, and a really good run there for Manchester.
Yeah, this is what they've needed. Get that momentum behind themselves. Two great steals there from Annie Warren and Danny Williams.
And coming at a crucial time, because that Sheffield lead was just about to be maybe getting a little bit too far ahead for you, Manchester.
And I think as well, sometimes as a player, having those 2 layups then that were open, it gives you a chance at resetting your shot, if that makes sense, without the kind of being guarded and without that pressure. So then you feel a bit more, you get back into yourself and you're like, right, okay, I've just made one, let's keep this going now. when you've not been hitting for a while, sometimes you just need that reset.
And for Sheffield, it's a case of they've got the lead, they've got time. I mean, we've got 3 minutes 49 left in the fourth quarter. That's loads of time, isn't it? But for Sheffield, you feel like it's kind of switched a bit with the momentum here for them in the fourth.
Yeah, I think for them now it's all about kind of how they can keep this lead and the way they can force Manchester again with those turnovers like they were just doing. I think for them now it's just about kind of keeping that intensity on defence and going after everything, keeping the game physical, because I think for them that works. And yeah.
And Sheffield having hit 8 3-pointers to Manchester's 5. I mean, 5 of those 8 have been Georgie Gales, so it's a crucial possession here for Manchester. For Sheffield. As they can look to increase their lead, or Manchester can get us up. I mean, it's going to go one of 2 ways, isn't it, really? Either they'll score or they won't.
And they'll win or they won't.
It's not like football, we've not got a draw.
No. Did you know it took me 2 years of playing basketball to find out that you didn't have a draw?
Really?
Yeah. I think it was under 16 by the time.
Oh, Dale intercepts it, passes over to Warren, and Gantini knocks it out, but that could have been a very big possession.
Yeah, I think Ryan Bailey's reaction to that was representative of all of us.
I feel like I'm saying there's a lot of big possessions. It just feels like this is a game where every possession is just really impactful. But again, it's Emma Gandini. We saw her do that in the first half. She's able to just knock the ball out of bounds. She's really good at reading the pass.
And also to be doing that and only be on 1 foul as well is very clever, very disciplined, very clinical.
She certainly is, as Thomas Johnson drives to the basket, hangs in the air, won't go. But Emma Gandini, a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year out in NBL 1 West in Australia, so she's a very clinical defender. As Gale calls for the screen. Runs into traffic. And that's going to be a foul call, so Gale to the line for 2 shots. With the second foul on Thomas Johnson. And it's a 5-point Sheffield lead. So Gale at the line shooting 73.2% so far this season. Goes 2 of 2. And it's back to a 7-point lead for the Hatters. Dale going to the basket all the way, and an offensive foul called on Davida Dale. Shauna Harrison taking the contact. Oh, she needs an ice bath, does Shauna Harrison? So it'll be back with the Hatters. Gale over to Harrison. Back to Gale. Time on Sheffield's side here. Harrison with time running down, finds Singleton. Singleton. And a blocking foul called on Manchester and Fitzpatrick. And I think we've got a technical foul called as Fitzpatrick. So Fitzpatrick called for the blocking foul, a technical called as I think the Manchester bench were looking for that to be an offensive foul.
Yeah, I mean, I think I can see their reasoning. You know, it was very similar to the play that's just happened down there with Davida Dale. So I think for them, you know, they are just kind of questioning whether there is any similarities.
So Gale will shoot the technical free throw. He gets it. And then Singleton will have the 2 shots for their
second technical for the bench. We've just called a second technical for the bench.
So that'll give Sheffield another shot.
So I think they've given a technical to the bench for jeering when Georgia was taking the shot, but then there's a member of the audience now that's saying it was me, it wasn't the bench.
Oh, okay.
So I think then the crowd are trying to say, no, it wasn't George, it wasn't the bench.
It wasn't, but right, it was the crowd, yeah.
But yeah.
But Gale will take the technical free throw. So then Tyre Singleton will now take the 2 shots from the foul that was called initially. So a really big swing here for Sheffield.
Yeah.
With Gale having hit both of the technical free throws. Singleton hits the first regular free throw. And a chance for a second here. And will get it to go. So 4 points there for Sheffield on that possession down the floor. That's not what you want if you're Manchester, but there's still time here.
There is. There's 2.5 minutes.
Fitzpatrick to Williams. Williams drives to the basket. Back with the Hatters. Collier, round to Gandini, 4 seconds. Gandini runs into traffic and a jump ball is called. So 2 minutes 8 to play. Sheffield have been really dominant this quarter. A 20-8 run so far, Sheffield's highest scoring quarter of the game. Manchester need to chip into this soon if they're going to do it. Warren going to the basket, off the front of the rim. Singleton with the rebound. Long pass to Gandini. Harrison to Gale. And Sheffield can take time off the clock. Six seconds. Out to Harrison. Harrison catch and shoot 3. Too much on it, but Singleton is there for the rebound at the buzzer. As Dale gets it over halfway line. Thomas Johnson thought about the shot, passes round to Warren. Williams to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick to the basket. And Sheffield in control here in the 4th quarter. Gandini, Collier. Singleton underneath. Tyre Singleton gets the whistle and back to the foul line she goes. And has that just put the game out of reach for Manchester? As that's the 4th foul on Annie Williams. As we've got a timeout called, so a really huge swing here for Sheffield this quarter.
Yeah, I mean, they've worked for it, you know, they've been aggressive. I think Manchester have just struggled, sadly, in the last couple of minutes to put the ball in the basket.
So a 11-point lead for Sheffield here. Manchester up 13 in the 3rd. Sheffield fought their way back into it, but a massive 22-point 4th quarter for Sheffield. Tyre Singleton up to 22 points, along with 7 rebounds and 2 assists. Emma Gandini, 12 points and 10 rebounds, along with 3 assists and 3 steals. And Gandini, I really feel like has been she's been where she needs to be at the right time.
Yeah, you're right. I think that's a perfect way to explain it. You know, she's been working hard on defense, getting those little deflections, and then she's been, you know, creating on offense, but also scoring. She's been a scoring machine today.
She has, and Georgia Gale also adding in 19 points for the Hatters, hitting 5 from behind the arc. So Annie Warren leads the way for Manchester with 17 points. Danny Williams, 15 points, 12 rebounds, 5 steals. Davida Dale, 8 points, 4 rebounds and 6 assists, along with 2 steals. Now, both teams relatively low scoring by their standards. Manchester averaging just under 87 points a game and Sheffield over 91. So 69-56 with less than a minute left.
I was going to say before, actually, this is a very low-scoring game, and I think that is just such a reflection of kind of the battle that it's been between these two giants.
So it's Singleton that will be shooting the free throw after the made basket. Chance to increase her total. And she does, up to 23 points and takes Sheffield up to 70. Dale. Round to Williams. Williams, step back 3. Nothing but net. Gandini to Gale. Harrison, back to Gale. And ball's kicked out of bounds, going to stay Sheffield ball.
I like that. That's smarter than going for a foul, kicking it out of bounds instead.
As Dale fouls Gale, and that's a tongue twister. That's Dale's second foul, but it's all cosmetic at this point as Georgia Gale will head to the foul line for 2, and Gale 19 points personal. You can see the Sheffield Hatters playing next Sunday against the Oakland Wolves in the Cup final at the Motorpoint Arena in Nottingham. Can they get their first silverware of the season? Get your tickets, get on down or across to Nottingham. Watch the game live on YouTube. It's going to be an absolutely fantastic game between those two teams. So Manchester looking to make something of this last possession. Dale finds Thomas Johnson out to Warren. Warren behind the line. Doesn't go, and Sheffield here can just hold the ball as it's flinged to Gandini. Gandini, as time expires, and that will do it. The Sheffield Hatters with a big win, 72-57 over Manchester Basketball. Came back from 13 points down to win by 15. That is a huge swing. I've said that a few times, but it's the comeback from Sheffield there, really impressive.
It was. I think you're right. You know, it was the swing was just brilliant, and I think it was a reflection of the work that they were putting in on defence. I think it took them a while to kind of adjust to what Manchester would put in on court, you know, with their 1-3-1 offence, 1-3-1 zone. So I think for them it just took them a little bit longer to adjust to all of that. But once they got going, that was it. There was no stopping them.
So Tyre Singleton with a huge 23-point game for the Hatters, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. Georgia Gale just behind with 21 points, hitting those 5 threes, along with 5 assists and 2 rebounds. And Emma Gandini, we mentioned her before, 12 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double for her, 3 assists, a real difference maker.
Yeah.
And for Manchester, just 2 players in double figures today. Danny Williams with 18 points and 12 rebounds, notching up another double-double, 12 assists and 5 steals. She was all over the ball.
Yeah, she really was.
And then Annie Warren at 17 points for her, along with 4 rebounds and an assist. And Davida Dale, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists and 2 steals. Maura Fitzpatrick off the bench with 6 points. So for Manchester, really positive first half of the game. And obviously be disappointing to not come away with the win today, but there is a lot that Sheffield are the second-ranked team. They're a very tough team. They've played them closer than they have last time, so I think Isha and there used the term a couple of weeks ago, but a positive loss, almost, if you can.
I think, to be honest with you, I think this is probably more of an actual frustrating loss for them. I think the effort and the hard work that they were putting in the first 3 quarters, it then I think feels a little bit robbed. So I just think, for them, they've just got to go back now and see kind of what they can do to work on this. Because I think some of it was maybe circumstantial as well, so it's about how they can react to certain things.
So the run as well in the fourth quarter, a 27-11 quarter for Sheffield.
Yeah.
So that's...
And I think I'd probably say, what, about 12, how many of them were free throws?
Can't work out, but a lot. Sheffield shooting 20 of 28 from the line.
Yeah.
Manchester shooting 9 of 12. So if you're fouling and the fouls on a few shots that were converted as well, you're giving up those extra points.
Yeah, exactly.
So Manchester will go again next Saturday. They'll be playing the Nottingham Wildcats here at the National Basketball Performance Centre on International Women's Day. Come down and support the team, and that's going to be a big game again, isn't it, for Manchester against Nottingham. Nottingham have been playing really well recently.
Yeah, and they've been causing, they've been disrupting teams when teams are going down there. And I think, Manchester struggled when they played in Nottingham as well. So I think for them, you can't underestimate them.
No, you can't. And it was a 5-point win for Manchester when they were in Nottingham. So very, very close margins. And as we head towards the end of the season, those playoff seedings coming into play, Manchester are definitely going to want to get as many points on the board as they can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for the Sheffield Hatters, they'll be in action next Sunday in the Cup final. No league games for them. It'll be the Cup final against the Oakland's Wolves. So the final score from here in Manchester is 72 to the Sheffield Hatters, 57 to Manchester Basketball. Thanks to everybody that's watched us live on YouTube. And from myself, Kaz Bullock, and from Hannah Alty, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week.
See you next week.